I'm kind of done giving a about like the lefty political sensibilities, because the truth is your shit hasn't worked for the past like half decade. This whole like responsible platforming discourse, we've had it 10,000 times, and where are we now? Anti-Semitism is mainstream. The alt-right or Christian nationalist discourse is mainstream. Nick Fuentes is a household name. Twitter has been like Uno reverse carded by Richard Spencer, and they basically showed that they were doing shadow banning. Well, and can I call out Vaush on a big platform real quick?
Oh, call out. Call out time.
I haven't done it yet. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, do you think that exposing your audience to extremist views makes them more likely to adopt those views?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
This is never... Come on. You've definitely thought of this before.
Well, my hope would be, the answer would be no, that by exposing your audience to extremist views in a responsible environment, you basically have the ability to control for their reaction for it, right?
Yeah.
That's why I would advocate for, like, in colleges they should be exposed to extremist views, because then you have like the ability to, see it and deal with it in a controlled setting. Whereas if you don't, then when you're exposed to it in real life, you might be like, wait, holy shit, I've never heard this before, but these guys are making some true points,
Would you say that like the responsible part is would hit, like, whether or not your audience is likely to adopt those views hinges on the responsible part? Like, if you're not taking certain steps to be responsible about the way you're platforming, then you're more likely to have your audience adopt those views?
Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah.
So, like, what are some steps that you would say is necessary? Like, if you were to basically invite somebody on to talk about, whatever the fuck, and you knew that they were like, they held some extremist views, what are some steps that you would take to make sure that, you were responsibly platforming them?
I mean, it would depend on the view, but I mean, I guess the goal would be to make sure that you're having, like, you're providing pushback, or if you believe that something is incorrect, that you can explain why in a compelling manner, like why a particular thing is incorrect.
Do you think that you can do so without coming across as soy? Necessarily?
Yeah, but it just depends on the topic, and it depends on if you're soy or not, I guess, right?
Right. Yeah, I think I would largely agree with that. How would you deal with somebody that, like, denied any sort of responsibility when it comes to having to responsibly platform somebody? Like,
I mean, I don't know. It seems like most people just don't give a fuck about that type of stuff anymore. So, I mean, I usually just call them stupid and bully them. I don't know. It's frustrating, but it seems like there's a lot of people that believe that, right? Why?
I've been getting in, like, a little bit of a drama. Well, not drama, just like a big disagreement with Stardust over her platforming of people like Richard Spencer.
Why do you think does she not provide adequate pushback?
Have you seen any of her interviews with him?
Nope.
Yeah, it's basically just like a hug box. She basically invites him on, will give him prompted questions, and then just hands him the megaphone with, like, literally zero pushback on anything, to the point where he's literally able to go on, like, multiple rants, or like, he's literally espousing his new, like, Apolloism ideology, which is just a very, like, more digestible, anti-Semitic, right-wing extremist ideology. And it's been very frustrating to get her to accept that she has any sort of responsibility in providing any amount of pushback, because she thinks that it's impossible for her audience to get radicalized to any degree.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would probably disagree with that.
How would you demonstrate that? Like, what would be the argument against that? Like, how? I don't know.
She thinks that her audience can never get radicalized, or?
Yeah, she basically says, like, well, my audience knows my views, so they're, just having some guy on isn't going to be enough to have them like adopt their views or whatever, right? And I tried to explain like radicalization doesn't happen over the course of one conversation, right? It's something it's like boiling a frog. It happens over a long period of time. You have to sort of be primed for something to be radicalized, and having conversations where somebody's espousing dangerous ideas with no pushback can very much like plant that seed and prime somebody towards being radicalized even more in the future.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And
I mean, it sounds like I would probably disagree there too then, but I mean, what do you want me to say? Like,
I'm trying to think of a line of questioning that would like make somebody accept that like, oh yeah, actually like, you know, my audience would be susceptible and I do have a responsibility to, you know, provide pushback, I guess.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it, I guess. I mean, like, it seems kind of self-evident to me. Oh shit, who joined?
Right.
Wait, who just joined?
Oh, CounterPoints.
Oh, CounterPoints.
In MindWaves, I am coming on to give you a little bit of pushback.
Uh-oh.
That's fine.
But I also wanted you to finish your line of questioning.
No, you finish it. Go for it. Push back against him.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Listen, dude, you can't, like, the leftists have fucking killed. You were talking about how, like, we can't bring back the panel space. It's because leftists have fucking killed it.
Ooh.
You killed it. You destroyed it with this whole, like, you can't talk to this person because they're problematic, blah, blah. Like, and by the way, like, Richard Spencer's a piece of shit. But what you're talking about is a dude who is reviled by pretty much the entire planet, who has a niche neo-pagan ideology that like barely anybody is going to believe in. And basically you're talking about like a lefty progressive person taking their audience and dragging them in order to have weird fucked up conversations. Like, I'm not fully with the Chud logic philosophy that it's just content and nobody can be radicalized or whatever, but I think like the chances of like
all of my their train stops got fucked up.
A terrorist because they were exposed to Richard Spencer's neo-pagan fucking religion is next to zero. And also on top of that, like, what are we just supposed to do? So we're just supposed to take like shitty ideas and just ignore them forever? Because that's what we've been doing for the past half decade. And look where that's fucking gotten you. Literally all the shitty ideas are still here.
All right, you're at like an 11. I'm gonna need you to dial it down to like an 8. Okay.
It's me at like a 6.
All right, I'm just trolling. No, but this is very frustrating because I constantly get the straw man of my argument, right?
Oh, straw man.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust out all the debate terms, okay?
Logical fallacy. Whataboutism?
It's the fact that like at no point have I ever said that you can't platform Richard Spencer or anybody like that. My whole point is that you can't do so while also not providing pushback when he's like literally engaging in dangerous rhetoric.
But we should expect different things out of different creators. So for instance, the reason why everybody and their fucking mom goes to like, oh, Destiny is like a good debater, therefore he should be the only person who fucking talks to him. Well, the rest of us gotta fucking eat too, you know? We gotta make fucking content, and some of us are interested in fucking politics. So Star, like you can say it's irresponsible. I'll even agree with you to a certain extent if I just watch it where Richard's like, oh yeah, I love neo-Nazism and neo-paganism. Like, I'll agree with you, but also like what is the harm that you think that Star is engaging in? Like, actually, can you articulate the harm?
Yeah, she's priming her audience to be radicalized.
Okay, so you think that like a bunch of like Twitch lefties and progressives who follow Star, because they are like shitposty progressives, are going to be radicalized by Richard Spencer into doing what?
Into believing even more like extremist views.
Okay, so which ones?
Particularly like any anti-Semitic view, right? That's like the whole crux of his ideology.
Okay, but anti-Semitism is like that's in the water supply at this point. Like Kanye West and fucking Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, that would be an argument to push back even more.
30 times more the damage.
Yeah, but then you're saying that like, well, just because this is a bigger issue, this isn't an issue at all.
No. Actually, what I'm saying is I expect like certain levels of harm to be done by certain people, and you're like preoccupying yourself with, what Star's doing. And basically, like, rather than, this is my perception, okay? And I'll be at an 8. My perception is you're coming here because, Daddy Destiny basically does preside over the Twitch, YouTube political debate scene. And the reason why is because we're subtly talking shit to put like social pressure on Stardust to be a better platformer. But also what could happen is if you're like, hey, Star, going forward, basically this, and this, I think this is the research. I know you're not a debater, but these are the skill sets that I want to work on you with, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas some of this just comes across as like whining. And again, like I'll kind of, if you want to tangent at this point, because I don't want to loop, like this is why Twitch politics is dead.
I don't care about Twitch politics being dead, first of all. So like, who cares? But like the thing is that how am I? Okay, well that's cool. But like, how am I going to sit and like tell somebody like, hey, here's my tips for better responsibly platforming Richard Spencer when they don't even own up to the fact that they have a responsibility and have literally said that even if their audience does get radicalized, they literally do not give a single fuck.
Well, then, I mean, I guess that's not a person who shares your moral system, and therefore you should engage with them less, and that's about it.
But that's the thing, is that I don't want to do that, right? I do like Stardust. I think that, like, I think she's really cool. I like her content. I want to be able to convince her that, hey, this is a problem. You do have a responsibility. Your audience can be radicalized, right? And I have to get there before I can even give her very specific critiques with like timestamps and, hey, you could have said this here.
Well, okay, but then you have to appeal to somebody's motivated reasoning. So for instance, like I would say Star is more along the lines of Chud Logic, where she's like, I don't give a fuck what kind of conversations I have, as long as they're good content, they're interesting, they help like further discourse, positive or negative. I don't give a shit. I'm not that talented to figure out positive or negative. So if you're like, hey, like, I think this would actually be better content, and I think that like this would, help you fight whatever, that would go over a lot smoother than, hey, lefty fucking finger wag, I think you're bad. Ooh. Like, and by the way, like, so this is like motivated reasoning 101 is exactly what's going on, where I've heard it from Chud, I've heard it from Star, I've heard it from a whole bunch of other people, including myself. I'm kind of done giving a about like the lefty political sensibilities, because the truth is your shit hasn't worked for the past like half decade. This whole like responsible platforming discourse, we've had it 10,000 times, and where are we now? Anti-Semitism is mainstream. The alt-right or Christian nationalist discourse is mainstream. Nick Fuentes is a household name. Twitter has been like Uno reverse carded by Richard Spencer, and they basically showed that they were doing shadow banning. All of this shit that like you were supposedly stopping with the deplatforming or responsible platforming rhetoric, it's dead.
So do you think it's all for naught? Like yeah. You just shouldn't give a fuck about responsibly platforming then at that point?
Oh, I think liberalism is the way to go, friend. I think fucking like individual
responsibilities. I'll meet you where you're at then.
And
right?
the cringe. Sorry, last point. Cringe marketplace of ideas is where we need to be. So
I agree with you.
Well, next time a fucking leftist like Vaush or fucking Demon Mama is like, oh, the marketplace of ideas, you go, yeah, the marketplace of ideas, because the truth is this whole fucking deplatforming shit hasn't worked.
Yeah, I agree with you, right? But this again, you keep on wanting to put me in this box of like somebody that is slowing out and going, you can't platform these people, which you're right. We have been having these conversations about like responsible platforming, but unfortunately, the way that those conversations are always framed, especially in this space, is people on the left slowing the fuck out about, oh my god, you platform this person, you can't platform this person, this is irresponsible just because you fucking platform this person. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't platform these people. I very clearly said you can pretty much platform whoever. You could platform Hitler today if you fucking revived him, all right? But you got to be able to do it responsibly and push back.
Okay. Do you think that you could do it responsibly? Do you think you could have a responsible conversation with Richard Spencer?
You know what? To be honest, I'm not sure, and that's why, if I'm being real, I don't think I would. Right? But I know for a fact I could do more than nothing, which is what Stardust did.
All right. Do you want me to set it up? Do you want to see if you can do better?
Ooh.
No, I don't,
Call
actually.
out. Uh-oh.
Like, all right.
Are you gonna let him call you the fuck out like that?
Well, that's fine, because like if all you have is like, oh well, you can't do it, then that's fine. I'll just bite that bullet. But like that's never been my point. My point has never been to come in here and be like, I could do this better.
No, okay. So my point, and I'm coming in a little hot or whatever. My point is like I think this, you don't care about Twitch politics being dead. Some of us do. So like YouTube and Twitch politics used to be this like super vibrant fucking debate space where a lot of crazy. Fuck you, it wasn't. I was on the fucking Hippy Dippy. I was on fucking Prime. And
Dude, I was on Twitch. I literally made the panel scene. Okay, I know.
You're the person who was responsible for making it what it was, and to see you shitting on it is sad.
It's look, you need to get over it. All right, stop looking at Twitch politics with rose tinted goggles. Okay, it's never going to go back to what it was. Twitch doesn't want that type of content on their platform. Being that type of creator in this space,
about the platform, I'm talking about the community of debaters who made it what it was. I don't care if it's on Twitch, I don't care if it's on YouTube, I don't care if it's on Odyssey. There could be a political community that debates the shit left, right, and center. And if anything,
sure,
like, I would use the fact like Destiny's popularity has fucking skyrocketed. I would use that as evidence, basically saying that this could be more mainstream than it once. Fucking Adam22, who as far as I know is a fucking chill bro podcaster porn star. He watches fucking Twitch, YouTube political autist debate. You know, look, there's more mainstream crossover than people want to give it credit for.
Sure, I love the community. I do, right? When we're talking about like, you know, this group of creators in this space, I do care about it, right? This is why it feels very frustrating to see somebody like Star engage in this sort of behavior, because I think it sets a bad precedent for people in this space. And this is not to say that, like, again, I don't want to be the guy that's like, hey, you can't platform these people, but like, if we're gonna hold ourselves up as debate streamers, then why the fuck are you going to bring somebody on like Richard Spencer and not debate them? Like, well,
because I don't think Star does think herself as a debate streamer. She hangs out with debate streamers because it's good content, because fighting, blood sports, all that kind of shit. Like that's, you know, it's fun, it's interesting, it's weird. Like that it's more like you know, like a fucking white female loving serial killer content, you know? Whereas I would say what could be a potentially good conversation is, hey Star, like I think that, you know, this is kind of bullshit, blah blah blah, but I'll help you set this up. And that's where, if I'm misinterpreting your hostility to the space or whatever, I'm sorry, but when I hear you say like, oh, actually Twitch politics was cringe, it wasn't that great of a place, I do like the creators, but I don't like, you know, whatever the scene was or whatever, it does feel like sour grapes. That's what it feels like.
That's fine.
Well, is it sour grapes, or am I just misunderstanding you?
I think you are. Or maybe I misspoke or came across the wrong way. Like, I do care about the community largely, but the thing is that like, everybody wants the scene to be what it was like a couple of years ago, and it's just never going back. So like, you know,
why do you say that? Like there's no way that we can get 6 interesting, relatively intelligent people in a room in order to yell at each other about current events. That's not possible. It's not possible for it to be interesting. We have to have Vaush and Destiny fucking babysit us at every fucking turn.
Don't worry, I'll get unbanned one day. I'm coming back, guys. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
the thing is that I think for a panel scene to like thrive like that, if that's what we're talking about, if we're talking about a panel scene, if that's what you want, you have to have it be more than just these politics debaters. I think that you have to appeal to a more normie audience as well, and get other people on and involved in these sorts of panels, right? I think this is why something like Raj Royale was like much more sustainable than something like the Hippy Dippy or the Big Brain podcast.
Well, because we had fucking normies in there too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the majority of Twitch viewership, right?
But that's like a tweak. That's like a really small tweak.
Yeah, that's why I've been considering bringing something like that back.
You
But
guys
if
should
I did,
shame
it
the
would.
other fucking people that grew off of the space and then fucking abandoned it completely. I think Denims and Mike should be
Yeah,
getting
can
a
we call
lot
her a
of...
piece of shit real quick?
Yeah, you guys should be shaming the fuck out of those two, because those two largely grew out of those spaces, and as soon as they could, now they just suck on the Hassan teat, and then they completely neglect everything else.
I almost regret having her on so many podcasts. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
No. You
Like,
gotta you can't tell who's gonna be parasitic and who's not gonna be parasitic. Like
I know. I mean, like with hindsight, obviously, but like, I wouldn't do it any differently if I went back, of course. But yeah.
well, but that's kind of what I'm saying is we got to respect what people are gonna do, which is that they'll try to parasitize the relevancy of everybody else on the room in order to fight. You know, we all kind of participate in the games of clout. But then basically, all right, I'll tell you what I'm frustrated with. The reason why I came in the room is because it does feel like there's a few people, and when I say Twitch politics, I don't mean specifically the platform, right? I just mean the community of political debaters who made that scene what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like there's a few people who are keeping it on life support, except for the bigger creators, right? Vaush is always going to have an audience. Destiny's always going to have an audience. Denims apparently is going to fucking titty stream politics by herself, and that'll garner an audience. Fucking those people are fine. We're not worried about them long-term sustainable.
Sure.
But what we're talking about is having large, medium, and small creators battle, because what's actually fun is seeing large creators come into the fucking battlefield and fuck up and get fucking dunked on by like small streamers and medium streamers. That's fucking hilarious. And so if we're going to build that space back, we're gonna need the people.
I know you
who are
hate Denims, but are you gonna let
keeping
that
it
fly?
online.
I mean, that's what she's doing. She does like Fansly and shit now. Yeah, and she like booby streams her way to politics. Like, yeah, unironically.
Supreme and like all that kind of shit. So we're gonna need them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So if it seems like I'm reflexively defensive, it's just because I would prefer you saying like, I'm thinking about bringing it back. That seems like a lot of drama. I don't want it, but I would help out with the panel scene. And on top of that, I'll try to help.
It's not that I don't want the
piece of
drama.
shit.
It's just that like I want to make sure that if I'm going to do something, like commit myself to something like that it's more sustainable, right? If you notice, everybody that gets any amount of success in this scene usually tries to divert themselves into more normie content.
Because they're pussies. Yeah, got it.
Well, yeah, because it's very hard to sustain just pure debate content over an extended period, like, time. Like, Destiny is like literally like one of the only people that's done it consistently.
Well, and can I call out Vaush on a big fucking platform real quick?
Oh,
Call out
time.
I haven't done it yet. Shut the fuck up. So like one of my frustrations is he seems half in, half out. Where he's like,
no, he's fully in for the clout, and he's fully out for helping anybody but the clout. He's all the way in it, baby.
So you call him out harder than I can, because hopefully he'll get on the new panel scene, right? But the point being, like, okay, so he'll debate random schizos. He'll consider debaters with debates with bigger people, but he won't commit. And then basically it seems like he retreated into his own content, and there was the Fortress arc, and then it's like, okay guys, this was bad, I'm out of the Fortress arc, and then I'm gonna debate schizos again. And it's like, okay, that doesn't help the scene in any way. That helps your own internal momentum.
I think it's unfortunately it's very you can't expect people to care about the overarching like scene, like the broader
These are
scene.
socialists and leftists. These are
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
communities.
If there's anybody ever
care
that you
about
could
the
expect to care about
community.
anything, shouldn't it be like fucking socialists? Like, shouldn't the, because if you can't even get your socialists to care about your fucking local scenes, like, holy fuck, how the fuck is everybody else supposed to?
I mean, you would think, right? But like at
You
the end of the
would.
day, there's streamers first and socialists second. Like we all know that.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then
but
you
isn't
can't
some
really
weak
have like,
fucking pussy shit.
yeah, you can't really have any expectations for society then at that point. Like, it feels a little.
We just need to, guys. It's all the systems,
look,
bro. We
it's-
just need to
you
change the
should.
systems. Don't expect me to create the systems or help out with the systems, but it's the systems, bro.
I wish we could, right? But like I don't know. I'm just
Wish-
saying it's futile.
wish we could.
Oftentimes, yeah, for sure.
Why?
I'm just
Okay,
saying
why
that, like,
is-
when you say
why is it
futile, these are the best conditions ever, where if you were a socialist, you would be expected to perform. You have almost unlimited money. You have very easy work. You have like 100% creative control over everything you do with no pressure from the outside. You have the ability to platform it. Like, this is like a dream scenario for anybody in this position. So to do nothing with it is like a little bit silly, I think, but.
Oh, we could do a debate cooperative where we share the revenue from the streams, and even the small streamers get a large cut of the revenue from the new platform. Like, bro, that's the thing. It's like you could be as creative as you want to be, but this is actually like the thing that kind of pissed me off is the call out. So the call out that Destiny recently did was like, oh, you charity stream, meaning that you funnel like a day's worth of your revenue into a fucking charity. Congratulations, bro. You're really changing the fucking system.
Sure. Which is, by the way, I think charity streams, I'll say it again, I think charity streams are fine.
Based.
Just don't pretend that they aren't anything more than you just getting a number measure in your clout. That's what they really are. It requires no sacrifice from you. You grow your own clout off of it. And it lets you say when somebody's like, oh, how much clout do you have? Well, the last 24-hour donation stream I did, I have $150,000 worth of clout. That's the reason why they do it, right? Is because it's an easy way to, I don't know why you're laughing.
It's true. Does anybody remember after, was it the Serifs that did like a big charity stream, and then every fucking small quote unquote socialist streamer did a fucking charity stream every fucking week and just rode that wave forever?
Yeah. And it's, you laugh, but like literally that's what it is. Like, it's a way to be like, look, this is exactly how much clout I have. I can raise this much money on a charity stream. And like Vaush even literally said, somebody can find the clip, but Vaush literally said after or during one of his charity streams, like, hopefully after this I'll be big enough for Hassan, or I'll raise enough money for Hassan to talk to me or something. He actually literally said that. I think it was during one of his Ukrainian dono drives or whatever.
I think he said larger creators to fuck with me.
Okay. He said larger creators, but that only includes like it's Vaush, right? So that's like two streamers. Yeah, it's like either me or Hassan, Yeah. For years, Ian was incredibly critical of Hassan, even wanting to take his place. Cargo Boy, fuck that. I'm gonna be the dragon who takes Hassan's place. I strongly disavow Hassan's perspective on tankies. I need to grow stronger before I can publicly criticize people like Hassan. I actually am dieting right now. Looking better will help my appeal. It works for Hassan. All I care about is growing. Is it weird for me to think it's weird Hassan doesn't follow me on Twitter? FYI, remember the Hassan editor drama? I was the person who encouraged Hassan's would-be editor to make public his exploitation. I do hope I'm able to eclipse Hassan. I'm growing rapidly. Hassan should pay his editor guy more. My problem with Hassan is that he's the biggest leftist streamer, and I want to be that. For years, Ian was incredibly critical of Hassan, even wanting to take his place. But when setting his sights on further stream growth, he eventually tried to gear himself up to be more palatable to larger streamers, even admitting as much when doing a large charity stream in May of 2021.
You know, I really hope that this big live stream, the charity, the positivity, all of it, I hope that it encourages some people who are on the fence about me to be more open to working with me in the future. Working with me, I mean, speaking amicably. That would be nice, I think. We actually just got raided by Hassan. My wonderful friends, hello. Please, yes, just tank my Twitch chat with Has Raid. Hello.
Okay, but see I'm okay with a certain level of this because I do think that quote unquote larger streamers, which is probably Hassan, it's probably Hassan, or it's the fucking what's that like one podcast that rakes in like $250,000 every fucking month, and it's all those
Trap House or
Chapo. So he's probably talking about those people where he's like, okay, like I have the pedo allegations, but I want people to fuck with me, so like please fuck with me, guys. I think that's like a perfectly fine thing to do, particularly if like the goal or what could occur consequentially is that like there's more money for more causes and all that kind of shit. Like I'm perfectly okay with that.
Sure, but I mean, like I'm gonna look at you differently, and I have every right to do this. I'm gonna look at you a certain way if every single thing that you do to like help other people also benefits yourself. And that is the case for these people. Like everything they do is always going to be on the road to self-enrichment.
Can I quote the late great Booksmarts? So what he told me, I was I'm still not the biggest guy in the world, but I was like, hey, like I was kind of wondering, like, do I need to grow first in order to be able to do this shit? And he was like, no, I think that what you do when you're small is what you're going to do when you're big. So if you have all these ambitions about what you're going to do when you're big, what's going to happen is you're constantly going to be selling out your moral system in order to get big first. And as a result, you're, yeah, sure, you'll get big, but then you'll never do all your big, bright, bushy-tailed ideas in order to make the space better. So for instance, actually, historical Twitch YouTube callback, one person calling out Mike from PA to be like, hey bro, couldn't you do like, some local work shit? And he was like, well, I can't do that.
Fox.
I
remember that stream.
I can't do that. That'll f with my metrics and my content.
Process. Seems like that might be more fruitful than having another one of these discussions that does nothing.
Okay. The reason why people organize around presidential elections is because they get tens of billions of dollars of free media. It's a unifying election that everybody in the entire country knows about, and it gives us a common language that we can reach more and more people. If you go into mutual aid stuff, that is inherently a very local action. If I go and do mutual aid shit, my audience will go from thousands of people to 50 people.
What?
Because they're going to all be in their own communities doing local actions and not doing anything that's oriented towards national politics.
Imagine missing the point of every single political movement in the history of your entire life so succinctly in one sentence. I can't even imagine a more perfect sentence to show how misaligned your priorities are if your goal is actual political power. Why would I want to do mutual aid when it would spur all of my viewers on to actually do better in all of their communities? I'd lose all of my audience. I'd have no money. Like, how perfect is this? It is the most perfect sentence I've ever seen in my life for somebody to just out themselves as being not in politics for power, but just for entertainment purposes.
What?
This is a defeating, and also, can we be real? Who's gonna turn? Can you show me?
I think Lucius Fox or whatever is the guy, and even he realizes how fucking stupid this is.
Mutual aid streamers of people that just sit there discussing mutual aid all day.
What are you talking about? You can diversify your content. You can talk about more than just that.
Yep.
What?
Okay, guys. I mean,
well, no offense, but has Mike done, like, has he leveraged his contact and
no. He's never done anything that isn't
shit into anything positive.
No, it's only whatever's for self-enrichment.
Which okay, but see, that's the thing is like, so at some point, okay, the mixed economy capitalist people, the soc dems and the social conservatives who care about like building strong social structures, they do things like they reach out to people, they try to do IRL engagement, they work. Some of them are wages, like myself. There's people who do things, and then there's people who talk about doing things. And when you constantly see the correlation between like leftists and not doing anything besides masturbating in front of a fucking camera, at what point do you say the leaders in this organization are fucking worthless?
Yeah, and
like,
it's
at what
all
point
of
do you have
them.
that correlation?
Yeah, it's literally all of them. So it's pretty frustrating.
Defend your people, MindWaves.
There's no defending them. This is why I sort of separate myself from like the label of socialist, right? In this space, especially, it's fucking cringe.
Well, okay, so then I think the liberals and the centrists who didn't decide to be like Sargon level tradcons, I think they need to come back, and I include myself in that fucking label. Is like, we need to come back. We need to say, actually, the marketplace of ideas is the way to do it. The only way to combat dangerous ideas is to shit on them in public. We can have Overton window limits, and we can have some level of expectations out of our creators to be knowledgeable and dangerous from an efficiency standpoint when it comes to fanatics. But besides that, we're bringing it back to the cringe 2016 fucking everything free speech discourse shit.
I don't think that MindWaves necessarily disagrees with you. He just feels like Stardust doesn't provide any pushback at all.
Right. I don't even feel like she's on the same page as you at this point, right? That these conversations need to happen, because she clearly made it seem like, she's very much not interested in, or at least feels no responsibility to push back against any sort of ideas and doesn't feel like her audience can be influenced by ideas.
Well, okay, so instinctively, okay, the reason why I want to defend Star here or whatever is because I feel like instinctively what's going on is that shit is a lot of work. And a lot of people have different IQs and acumens and all that kind of shit. I feel like Star's strength is bringing on a bunch of shit posters and assholes and having them scream at each other on her panel while she kind of chills in the background and then asks like a question every now and then. I feel like if you look
It's
at
not really a skill though. Like okay, like I mean that it's not, right? Like
the thing is that skill to be sociable enough to bring people together. That's a skill.
No, that's just being connected. Anybody can be connected, right? Like behind the scenes. That's fucking easy. Like
no. Push back. Dude, fucking President Sunday has bitten every single hand that's fucking fed him for the past like 6 months, and it's now a joke to like have a conversation with him, and basically within 5 minutes for him to act bored and be like, well, I got something to do, I gotta be somewhere real quick, and this conversation is beneath me.
Sure,
so,
but what, like my point is that like the thing is that if that's your goal is to invite a bunch of people on and sort of chill and have them engage in whatever. I know this. I've done this, right? Like being a moderator, hosting like the Big Brain podcast. This is what I did. The thing is that you have to have some sort of control over the conversation. You have to have the skill to be able to direct the conversation in a way that's both interesting, first of all, and second of all, like, I guess responsible as well.
Hey, Connor, clarifying question.
Ooh.
Sure.
Who are you talking about when you said some people have different IQs?
I was talking about Stardust. She's dumb as fuck.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding.
Wanted to get that
Okay, I'm
clear.
kidding.
Oh,
I'm
you're
kidding. All right,
kidding.
no.
Okay, then
No,
who?
I do love Star. No, like I do think there are people with different fucking IQs. So for instance, I think that
Are you saying the audience watching, like?
Oh yeah,
or are
they're
you
dumb
saying
as fuck.
certain creators?
Yes.
Okay.
And creators. No, and
You should always treat
what
the
I say.
chatters like they're dumb. Always.
Yeah. Well, so hold on. Let me not walk back, but let me de-meme my meme, okay? I love Star, but she's obviously like, hey, I don't want to fucking research all this shit. I don't want to go into this shit. I just want to shitpost. I want to meme. I think that Chud does that shit too. And then I also think that IQ can be like a double-edged sword, where President Sunday, I've seen some of his pre-recorded content that had like Christian apologism in it. He actually has a pretty good academic like research breakdown, bullet point support, like all of that kind of stuff, which would normally be indicative of a high IQ, but his fucking like his EQ is dog shit. Like he just has like no like social understanding of the people around him at all, which is funny. But that's kind of like
his content could be plagiarism, right? Because if anytime you interact with someone, they're a dumb fuck. But then when they have like
well, now it sounds like now it sounds like you're calling
knows?
Well, now it sounds like you're calling him stupid. So
Oh yeah, no, I've already decided President Sunday is like a joke.
Ooh.
Oh, that's sad.
Figured that way.
Well,
I give him all the charity in the beginning, so it can't be like I didn't try.
Okay, well, I would still be interested in having a high IQ conversation with him if he wasn't like an uncharitable cunt who was acting like he was bored within the first 5 seconds of talking to me.
That high IQ convo might have to happen in your dreams.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But the point is like, MindWaves said that there isn't a skill set to just bringing people together. I think.
Okay, I'll walk that back. Okay, I'll bite that bullet. I'll take the L on that one. It is a skill set to be able to organize conversations, invite people, maintain relationships and connections behind the scenes for sure. But like once you're actually on stream, that is all sort of out the window, right? Like chat doesn't really see that.
Well, okay, so let me point out what I think Star is probably doing. Or at least I think she's doing, is she's trying to maintain enough of a positive relationship with the far right, because let's face it, they drive a lot of discourse, et cetera,
yeah.
And everybody else takes a massive shit on them. Like, I'm pretty sure Apolloism, like neo-paganism, that's already a meme in the far right circles where like this is like cringe, it's not going anywhere, this is fucking cope. Basically, Richard Spencer saw he saw the organization. This is my guess, by the way, without talking to him.
For sure.
He saw the organization of the Christian nationalists, where who?
What?
Sorry, maybe it's in my game. I heard somebody say, "What you gonna do about it?"
Wait, what are you playing?
I'm playing Dark Tide.
Can people talk in that game?
Yeah, they have mics.
Then that's probably where it came from.
Okay, my bad. So the fucking Richard Spencer. So he saw the organization of the Christian nationalists, and he was like, "Oh shit! Like it's not enough to just have people like vaguely organized around ethnos." Because let's face it, there's like degenerate white people and there's civic nationalist white people and there's liberal white people. So that's not enough to organize people. So as a result, we need to organize better, and religion is foundational. It offers philosophy and morality and all that kind of shit. So yeah, so basically that would be my thing, is he's probably copycatting people, but outside of his little circle, he's getting massively shit on. Like,
well, yeah, of course, because all of his bridges, this is what I was talking about before, is that all of his bridges with the right wing have been burned, right? And this is exactly why he's looking to go.
His haircut for a meme.
Yeah, and this is exactly why he's going to audiences like Stardust to have these conversations, is because he doesn't have. He even said so. And did you watch the second interview that she had with Richard Spencer?
I did not, and here's where you could fucking own me, is if there was like a whole bunch of times where he's like, "Yeah, Stardust, I'm using you in order to get to the normies. I fucking
yes,
love Cloud."
he did say that basically. So she essentially asked him like, "Hey, like, why are you interested in having these sorts of conversations?" And he said, "Well, you know, basically that he is looking to gain an audience, and he specifically comes to spaces like these because he doesn't have any spaces on the right to he's not welcome on the right."
Ooh,
and
kill shot to Connor's entire thesis.
And that's the thing as well, is that like I don't think she did so intentionally, but she did lie to me in that conversation where she said that, well, no, he's not trying to gain an audience. But in the conversation that she had with him, she literally asked him if that's what he was doing, and he said, "Yes, that is what I'm doing. Not only am I doing that, but I'm coming to spaces like this because I can't go to the right." And it's like, well, I don't know why you would ever tell me that. Like, she says she just misspoke or whatever, but like, I don't know. That feels very hard to believe.
Well, okay, but then I guess this is where maybe Star and I, and maybe Chud and a few other people were willing to take on bigger risks than maybe lefties are. Because, so for instance, like, I think that, you know, having these ideas talked about out loud, whether it's like Apolloism, anti-Semitism, Christian nationalism, Christian nationalist anti-Semitism, I think these are all conversations worth having. And I know that you've already said, like, you can responsibly platform, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But basically, we would rather take the risk and fuck it up than not take the risk at all. And part of that is self-serving, where
well,
it's like,
the thing is
that money, the clout, and the attention.
Just
Sorry,
to interject real quick, is that like, yeah, you can take that risk and fuck up, but the thing is that like, she wasn't even trying. You know, you can't fuck up when you're not trying in the first place. Is the whole point that I've been trying to make, is that like, at no point I watched the second and the third interview multiple times, specifically looking for any point where she was trying to provide pushback, or do anything other than just hand him give him a prompted question and hand him the microphone. And those instances just never came up, unfortunately, right? And when that's the case, I can't entertain the idea that you were even trying to begin with.
But trying for what? I think that's probably the main problem, is like the moral motivations. So Star thinks that or at least putting words in her mouth without actually talking to her about it. So Star believes that like these conversations are worth having, even if they're not debates or pushbacks or whatever. So these conversations by themselves are worthwhile.
Well, her own stated goal was just to get his perspective on the state of like right wing politics or whatever.
Which it's time, right? Like,
yeah, and I think that's a fair. Yeah, I think that's a fair goal to have.
Behind.
for sure. But like, you don't have to. The thing is, you can interview somebody and still be able to provide a good amount of like pushback when they start like engaging in dangerous rhetoric, or at least have the wherewithal to know when to sort of take the mic away from them, or like move the conversation away from a subject that is too controversial, or maybe just a conversation that you don't feel like you want to get into, or you don't want to be combative against, right? And that's the thing, is that like she basically let him espouse his Apolloism and other anti-Semitic views unchallenged, didn't take control over the conversation, sat there and went, yeah, the whole time while he was basically saying all this stuff, which gives the appearance of agreement to the audience, whether or not, that was her intention. And yeah, that's the sort of, that's the issue I have with it. There is a way to have these sorts of interviews with problematic figures, and not necessarily come across as soy or combative, and still be able to.
Like, as a matter of fact, could you articulate how? So for instance, like, I've heard Star say this before, so I'll repeat it for her. Part of her purpose being in right-wing circles all the time is because, like, her existence alone as a charitable interviewer who gives people a little bit of razzing but doesn't soy out, that caused, at least according to her, and I think based off of research, that causes some level of cognitive dissonance, where it's like, oh, well, I hate these, stupid, Pakistani Muslims, but Star's pretty cool, and, she immigrated to the United States, and she's around me, and I feel like we would be friends if we knew each other. Like, that by itself is going to cause a level of cognitive dissonance in ethno-nationalists. So, I guess, how would you charitably interview to the point, because this is the point, is maintaining a relationship. How would you charitably interview Richard Spencer to the point that you could maintain a relationship while not allowing them to, quote unquote, get away with being a piece of shit?
Just when they start engaging in certain rhetorics, you can ask clarifying questions, like, get them to, sort of. Richard Spencer does the thing where he talks in masked language oftentimes, right? He'll say something or he'll allude to something without necessarily saying it up front, right? And the more you ask questions about, like, okay, well, what are you saying when you say this? The more you're opening him up to revealing what his true, like, intentions are, what he's really trying to get at. That is something that you can do.
If you don't even hear the dog whistle, how are you going to call out the dog whistle?
Then you shouldn't have that conversation. You're not equipped, right? Then that's been part of my argument.
The only person on Twitch and YouTube politics who could have a conversation, because he has.
Well, if that's the case, then that's the case, right? But if you're going to say that,
it's not.
No, it is. If you're going to say that Stardust doesn't have that skill set, then she just shouldn't be having these conversations.
Is the issue that she doesn't have the skill set, or that she didn't make a sincere attempt?
Well, it's either or. I don't know which one it is. I'm gonna lean more towards, like, it doesn't seem like she's willing to.
Well, yeah, to me that's substantively different from her making a sincere attempt and just not having the skills that are commensurate to it. But
yeah, but effectively it's the same outcome, right? So I don't care which one it is.
I'm sure you would sooner respect somebody. I'm sure you would sooner respect somebody who at least attempts to challenge an ethno-nationalist or a white nationalist and just fails to do so because they don't have either the rhetorical.
Well, sure, at least they made the attempt. Right. And then I would tell that person, like, hey, you need to work on this, or maybe reconsider if you're actually going to engage in this content, right? But if you don't even make the effort, that's much worse.
Right. To me, yes, I agree. Well, hang on, real quick, counterpoints. I was listening here, and I got to ask you to clarify something here, because your position on platforming versus deplatforming versus responsibly platforming, I'm kind of confused, because on the one hand, you made it sound like responsibly platforming is useless because I think you used the example of, like, Nick Fuentes and Ye and just the rise of anti-Semitism as an example of, hey, deplatforming and responsibly platforming, these attempts ultimately, bear nothing out because anti-Semitism is still so prominent. Look at how prominent these two figures are in particular.
Real quick, I just want to insert in here just a really quick daily shout out that there's a guy called FD Signifier, and I think he has a sub-zero IQ. Go ahead. Finish your thing.
That's racist. Where's Kaisen at?
God.
So, all right, hold on. So yeah, let me clarify real quick. Basically, we've had on Twitch poll, and it was so annoying. Like basically always having to like walk on eggshells for this bullshit. We've had more conversations about responsible platforming than we've had responsible platforming. So that like so basically my frustration is this is a cycle that I've seen over and over again. Controversial comes up, or controversial figure comes up. It's Lauren Southern, it's Nick Fuentes, it's fucking Richard Spencer, it's an ethno-nat, a Christian nat, it's a fucking Professor Flowers, it's somebody like that. And then the discourse is never, what's the substance of their ideas? Why are they wrong? How do we prove that they're wrong? And also like, you know, even if they're right, what does this say about the world? That's an infinitely like more interesting conversation to have than can we even talk to this person? And we spend like I swear to God, like 80% of the energy in like leftist and liberal progressive spaces is about whether or not you can even have the conversation instead of having the conversation. So
can I just one more time like get you to clarify? Sure. Do you think that is where I'm coming from though?
Not necessarily, because you said that like as long as Star like put in effort and she was responsibly platforming and she was putting in like eloquent pushback, you wouldn't have anywhere near as much of a problem with it, which like I'm cool with. But that's where I would rather see you talking about solutions than problems, where you're like, hey, here's all the problems with what I believe Star did. Here's
well, like, before honestly, you provide a solution, you have to recognize the problem, right?
Sure, but dude, I'm so sick of that. This is like Annalisa, where she's like, oh, black men are all the problems, and they're like, oh, well, what would you do to improve black society? And she's like, why do I have to come up with solutions? Like, dude, if you're gonna point out problems, point them out as long as the day is long. But then
like, I can't get there until somebody recognizes the problems, or providing solutions is pointless when they don't think there is a problem.
So I recognize the problem. I think it's a small problem, but I think it's a real problem. Star is irresponsibly platforming people who are pieces of shit who have indirectly caused homicides through stochastic terrorism. All right, let's acknowledge the problem. Now what?
Well, now I would literally like this is what I'm working on right now, is actually providing timestamps in multiple interviews that she's had where she's let him engage in rhetoric with no pushback, and basically providing examples of like, hey, you can push back in these sorts of ways, or not necessarily even providing pushback, but you know, also controlling the conversation, right? Those are basically your two biggest options. You can either decide to control the conversation and steer it the way you want it to if it starts to become problematic, right? Or provide pushback. That's really all you can do.
Okay, that sounds like great content, and my only pushback to what you said is different people are going to have different levels for what's problematic. Because basically for me, my main concern with the far right is the race realism. Like I'm like a like a civic nationalist. I think that as long as you subscribe to like a certain
be
level,
careful.
No. I've already owned this enough in public to actually like.
There was a time period. It's probably like 6 years
were
ago.
Calling themselves civic.
Yeah, and they finally realized like, actually, I used to be civic nationalist, and now I realize I'm truly just an ethno nationalist. Just be careful in that shit. I got traumatized listening to Lauren used to do this a lot. Other people, I don't know if she still does this, but like whenever I would hear somebody say Western values, that was always like a dog whistle for white values, and a lot of the quote unquote civic nationalists used to do that. So just be careful with that one.
Yeah, and
I think Connor would more lean into like liberal values specifically, right?
If you're doing the capital L, not like the Democrat Party as it presently exists, but actually
classical
like
liberalism, like the philosophy behind it, yeah.
Well, in that, to be honest, this is like a massive problem with like what's happened for the online right over the past half decade is a lot of people like me, we believe the dog whistles not as dog whistles, but as like genuine statements of like principle and value. And then like a lot of creators were saying them as dog whistles. And then even more creators, I think what happened was audience capture. Like if I had to guess, I think that Sargon of Akkad, he basically would be like victim of audience capture. And so like, I think that he basically fell into the not fully ethnonat, but kind of ethnonat shit. Because that's just where his audience drifted. That's my suspicion.
Well, so not to interrupt again, but Connor, and I appreciate you clarifying somewhat, but the reason...
You're still sick? I'm sorry.
dude. Yeah. We all are, man. Like we're. I think
I'm sorry.
Sejin said he was finally getting out of it,
Yeah.
but
Sorry, go
the
ahead.
rest of us are fucked.
I caught it too. Not
Are you
from
sick
Georgia.
too? Oh, okay.
Just to be clear,
But whatever's
apparently there
going
were probably a
around,
lot
I
of
caught.
different sick people. It wasn't all me. You guys aren't all infected with my virus. Just let you know, okay? Don't worry.
No,
Go ahead.
DGG
No,
virus.
If you looked at the server, I mean, a gazillion people. There's no telling how many people. Some tested positive for COVID, others had the flu.
Oh, I heard
Yeah,
that too. A lot of
yeah.
I need to get that. Have you any of you gotten that bivariate or whatever fucking vaccine yet?
No.
Wow.
No.
I'm gonna see if your heart pops first, and then I'll get it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do that with every single vaccine coming out for the rest of mankind.
Yeah, at least until we figure out this whole depopulation thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh God. All right. So listen. So the platforming thing you clarified a bit, but the examples you provided for Fuentes and Ye, I feel like we got to address those for a second, because the prominence that they're enjoying right now is in part because of irresponsible platforming. So Fuentes was a guest of a former president of the United States, the leader of the Republican Party. That's an irresponsible level of platforming. His name, wait a minute, hang on. His name is all over the mainstream media as a result. He's been signal boosted immensely.
Wait.
because
I
of
just
his
want to
proximity to
clarify real
power.
quick. When we talk about responsible or irresponsible platforming, we can only truly talk about liberal platforms, because we know that conservatives aren't going to responsibly platform. So I don't know if we can say that like Fuentes was signal boosted because Donald Trump irresponsibly platformed. Like we're not going to be able to hold.
Well, it's
like,
both. It's both, right? It wasn't just the dinner. It was also the coverage surrounding the dinner, right? My point is, it wasn't like Connor made it sound like Fuentes is popular despite the fact that the left tried to shove Fuentes in a closet. But
yeah,
that's
but I
not
mean, like,
actually
but it sounds like at this point we're like taking a boat out to sea with like a million holes in it, and then hoping that we can like seal every single one. Like, I don't think it's realistic to say you're gonna keep, because Fuentes was no-fly listed at one point. He's banned from like 5 banks. He's banned on every single social media
You
platform.
don't get more canceled than
Like, yeah, but if he's still managing to find
without being
ways that he can like
assassinated.
leak through, then it's like, okay, well, the strategy is probably not working, I would say.
Well, I don't think anyone would claim
free
that
society.
canceling or deplatforming is fully comprehensive, because it would require buy-in from every major
Everybody.
I think.
Yeah.
I
But-
think
but my point is, I don't
sorry,
think it's-
just quick counterpoint. So I think up until Elon.
Unintended.
No, I think up until Elon bought Twitter, lefties were doing a good job. Like seriously. No, I'm
What do you
saying
mean by
like
good job?
Like Alex Jones was largely off the air, not growing as fast as he was.
Right,
Fuentes
Milo
was just canceled with
Yiannopoulos,
DCP.
right.
No,
So that's where I'm confused.
Chill. We're
Wait a
doing a
minute.
lot of
You know
random
what
things
you
here.
didn't count
Milo
on?
canceled himself. Chill on that one. Milo destroyed himself, but go ahead.
But it's still canceling. So my point is this. Here's my point. So you do concede that deplatforming can work.
It can be effective.
Okay. Well, you made it sound like it doesn't.
Society. But
You
not
made
in a
it sound
free
like it
society.
doesn't
If you guys
earlier.
want to do but if you guys want to go the CCP route and just control the internet completely, yeah, sure. We can deplatform.
I don't
But
know.
think
I
in,
mean,
like,
I
a
wasn't here for the whole
liberal- I don't think in a
conversation.
liberal
I don't know if
society you can.
MindWaves was advocating for that, but I'm certain
This is where I'm at, right? Like with somebody with Richard Spencer, when they're already sort of irrelevant, I feel like that would be the perfect place to keep them, right? Is in irrelevance. Why would you then open up your platform and give them the platform to like allow them to like push themselves back into relevance?
Because it's fun, and then two,
Based.
because he's representative of a broader idea set, and he's one of the best rhetoricians of that idea set. So you can say like Apolloism or neo-paganism or whatever, you can say that's pretty irrelevant. You can say that ethno-nationalism is pretty irrelevant. You can say that the alt-right is in disarray since Charlottesville, like all that kind of shit. But basically, you have to admit that there's at least a few 100,000 ethno-nationalist rightoids who are willing to fund and push and commit violence on behalf of ethno-nationalism. And he is a representative of that idea, even if that, I don't know, caucus doesn't like take him seriously anymore.
So if you were to say that like, okay, I'll ignore the content comment because obviously, yeah, it's content, but I don't think that's good enough reason, right? But like, I think the other reason here is that like, oh, well, he provides some sort of insight into these right-wing spaces or whatever, right? And the thing is that I've watched those interviews with him. I actually don't even think that is the case. I'd never, at any point in that conversation, did I think that like, oh shit, Richard Spencer is giving a very unique insight into these right-wing spaces. All of the shit he said is just like shit that like is very apparent already, like that we already knew. I really don't think that there was much value there.
Well, then you would be guilty of like the Vaush strategy, where it's like, okay, I will give air to these ideas, but I will only allow the most schizophrenic, shitty avatars of this ideology to voice them. And then at that point, you're just dealing with like, I would say the I don't want to say the straw mans, but you're dealing with like the weakest versions.
Sure, but
of these ideologies.
What value do you get from putting like? Yeah, but what value do you get by putting like the best rhetorician, like opposition, on your platform and then not pushing back on them? Like, you know, like.
Okay, so I'll just be brutal. I don't know. I love.
He's gonna be brutal.
We're best friends.
Here it comes.
We're Dark Tide buddies. We're Dark Tide buddies.
But
I don't know if Star has that skill set or is interested in cultivating that skill set. So you can call it bad. You can call that bad, and like I'll accept that on a scale of 0 to 10 harm, it's a 1, and you might think it's a 6. But that's where I don't know. For me, it's just compared to what's already in the American zeitgeist. Star's level of harm or giving Spencer relevancy is pretty low.
Jesus, dude.
Well, what? Compared to fucking Trump or Ye or Fuentes?
It was just fucking brutal, dude.
Okay.
You just don't think she can do it.
No.
Well, the thing is I think she could.
Glory, she can.
Well,
if she wanted to, I think she could. Well, yeah. But like, the thing is that like I wish she even cared to. Is the first thing, and it's like that's where I'm at. Is like I don't know how to make somebody care about that in the first place, especially when they think that their audience is somehow uniquely immune to being radicalized or primed to radicalization in any way.
Okay, but so I'll just share because I've seen the burnout from Chud, I've seen the burnout from Star, I have the burnout myself. What it feels like is there was a certain level of people who were within the Overton window who were willing to play the Twitch politics Overton window game, where we knew that the Overton window wasn't actually what was represented on Twitch politics, but in order to go on Prime or Hippy Dippy or whatever, we decided to either like couch our rhetoric or couch our viewpoints within like the acceptable discourse so we could continue to be a part of the conversation. That's not necessarily a problem, but it was mildly annoying.
Damn.
And what's happened is we've had these breakthroughs in the discourse with Kanye, Nick, fucking Milo for a brief second, Lauren, all that kind of stuff. And the truth is that the world is a lot bigger than the Twitch and YouTube political space. So you can either like get into the fight or you can become irrelevant. And right now, all the people who are saying like, oh, you know, we shouldn't be platforming this stuff, they're becoming irrelevant because the people who are having the conversations are now ignoring them.
Oof.
Like we don't care anymore.
Jeez. What about platforming them but doing it in the way that MindWaves is suggesting, which is pushing back and being adversarial?
There's half a dozen people who have that skill set. So, and by the way, here's the other thing. There's half a dozen people who have that skill set, and even in your top 2 or 3, as a matter of fact, let's break this down this way. There's 3 major political streamers in the Western world, as far as I know. It's Hassan, Destiny, and Vaush.
Base.
Hassan is an incompetent
Who's that second
debater. Vaush or Hassan.
Oh, Destiny. Oh, yeah.
Destiny.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Hassan is an incompetent debater. He's not a good debater, so he can't do it. So you've already eliminated like out of 90% of the clout that's available in this space. You've already eliminated a third of it. Vaush is capable but uninterested. He doesn't want to deal with the strongest version of these nefarious ideas. He doesn't want to do the research. He wants to basically sit in his ivory tower. He wants to bring schizos on and he wants to shit on them. And that is going to engender a certain amount of irrelevance. Destiny does do this, but he's only one man. So that leaves the remaining 10%
no
for the rest of us
at
who
all.
are
Feels dick ridden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, you, because I feel like I'm as competent as you when it comes to debating this shit, but I'm not as entertaining.
Okay. I think you're pretty entertaining.
Coke.
What? Why would I lie to him?
No, I'm
Okay,
not.
but
Because he's dick riding me. It's a mutual dick ride. Also,
so then where does Star
metaphor for
come
gay
in?
sex.
Because Star isn't as big as any of these three.
Right.
But she
Yeah,
had the opportunity.
She's fighting over the remaining 10%, and she's
but she
not
had
as
the
confident as a debater as everybody else, and expecting her to be that is an unrealistic expectation.
Well, to me,
I don't think that you have to
I
be a
don't.
competent debater. I think that
a new
being
challenge.
a competent, like a competent interviewer is sufficient to be able to do that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, somebody like Lex
can you start
Fridman, right?
listing- Can you list? Well, okay. So can you list out the whatever the virtues that form a competent debater or interviewer? Excuse me.
Control over the
lot
narrative, control over the flow of the conversation. That's a huge part.
Do that.
What? No, like any good interviewer does that. Also, being able to bait out responses from the person that you're interviewing, right? Getting people to clarify exactly what they mean when they say certain things. These are all skill sets that a good interviewer has. And this is something that Stardust either doesn't care to engage in or doesn't have the skill set.
An example of something that MindWaves just said, like Destiny brought up the Western values thing, right? Instead of just like setting down and just letting them say the Western values thing, if you feel like they're dog whistling, like, well, you need to actually have like a white nation, right? Like making them answer that question, like, what do you mean by Western values, right?
Right.
What exactly do you mean by Western values?
Yeah. And if they don't give
Constitutionalism,
us
republicanism, the freedom of speech.
Those are buzzwords.
No
what do you mean
Muslims.
specifically? Oh,
yeah, exactly.
No, that's
And
a bit more
eventually you would get
specific,
them
yeah.
to say no Muslims, because a lot of those people would say that, right?
Up until recently, where they
Yeah.
flip-flopped and they were like, "Ooh,
Now
Muslims are actually based social
Islam is
conservatives."
based.
Like an example from the Stardust interview with Richard Spencer would be like every time that Spencer sat there and was like gawking at the rhetoric of Ye talking about oh, it's just his message is so powerful or whatever, being like, okay, well, what do you find powerful about his rhetoric, right? Because if we think about it, what is Ye's rhetoric? It has literally been nothing but just pure anti-Semitism. He's not been talking about policy solutions or anything like that, right? Literally, his whole shtick right now is anti-Semitism. So like to make him bite that bullet would be very like key.
Okay, but so isn't this a mistake? Because basically, what you're saying, one, this rhetoric doesn't appeal to me. Two, I don't think Stardust is doing a good enough job of teasing out this rhetoric. And three, basically, like, I see the deeper, more nefarious meaning, and also on top of that, I think that the negative implications of it are actually pretty fucked up. So wouldn't it take somebody like you, who has the skill set or at least the ability to articulate the skill set to have this conversation? But then we get back to the fact that you don't think it's worth it to have this conversation in the first place, and then we have a different value set.
Well, that's the thing, is that like I'm personally not at this moment interested in doing that, right? But if somebody is in this space trying to do that, or like actively engaging in these things, I think it's fair to criticize them when they come short, or not even just come short, but don't even try.
Sure. And I guess the frustration for me is basically Twitch politics, the community. From my perspective, I've heard this like echoed a lot. It's on life support. So the big players, Destiny's busy with his own shit. So he drops in every now and then. Vaush is in his ivory castle. Hassan has no interest in doing it. Denims has no interest in doing it.
But I would hate
like,
to see people in this space basically throw their values to the wayside just for the sake of like viewership at the end of the day.
I don't think it's just viewership. I think,
but it is. Inviting Richard
following
Spencer
our
on for an
values.
interview is not having any impact on our broader community. I'm sorry.
I think
Connor,
you're
what
not
do you
tracking
think
the
her goal
Overton
is?
window.
What were you saying?
Well, so I would say, Star, I've heard articulated many goals. Okay. So the one, when it comes to her representation in right-wing spaces, she's trying to be the token minority, so she causes some level of cognitive dissonance where racist people who should not like her and who have been hearing a bunch of like nefarious rhetoric, they have to square themselves with the fact that she's pretty cool and pretty funny. Okay, that's something that she has stated is intentional, and I think is true. So for all of the dogging of Star in this conversation about like interview skill sets or debate skill sets, I think she does have that talent to be funny and charming and personable and cause cognitive dissonance through her sheer existence. I think.
Well, is that why? Just to clarify, is that why you think she took it easy on Richard Spencer? Was because if she challenged him,
she doesn't know where the lines are.
Well, if she challenged him too much or contradicted him too much, it might jeopardize that relationship.
She wants to play it safe, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that, but that is, she might be playing it too safe, right? But these are all things that we dial in over time. Like there's some relationships worth maintaining, and there's some relationships that aren't worth maintaining. So for instance, like Shuan Head might be a retard, but I think she has like a decent moral compass, and she's funny and she has good content. I know Destiny does not share this perspective. But I kind of like publicly backed her on this whole like Balenciaga thing, knowing that it could potentially jeopardize relationships within the space, but because I felt like it was worth it. Because anybody who's gonna fucking pearl clutch about that situation and say like Shu is a closet fucking Nazi, I don't need to continue having a relationship with that person.
Damn.
But that's where if you're saying that Star is being too charitable to the dissident right, and as a result she's not properly dialing in her relationships, that might be a conversation worth having where you're like, hey Star, you're playing it too safe. Because you're prioritizing.
I feel like that was the conversation I did.
Right.
That's the conversation I did try to have with her though, right? And she just wasn't willing to hear it. Maybe I used the word platforming, and that's just like a trigger to anybody like Chud or fucking Stardust. Maybe I should avoid that word. I don't know, but like, I don't know.
I think a alternative. I'm not saying she would be receptive to this, by the way. I'm just saying this is my perspective. I think appealing to somebody's motivated reasoning by basically saying like, hey, this would be better content, and on top of that, you're pussyfooting with the far right, whereas I think that there's more room than you think there is. So as a result, how about you try this strategy or talk to the far right people and see if they're receptive to this style of conversation? Right. I think that would be a perfectly reasonable thing to say and ask.
Yeah, I think you're right to some degree.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, if I had a criticism, like, I'm not, I know it's been, we don't necessarily agree on some shit, but if I had a criticism, it would just be that I think your perspective would have been sound in the Twitch politics of even 2 years ago.
When I was streaming, yeah.
Called you washed the fuck up. That's what he's saying, basically.
Yeah. No, but I do feel, I feel the ground shifting beneath my feet. I do. In the ground shifting beneath my feet is Twitch will not be the center of politics the way that it was, just because of TOS and banning. People will probably stay on there because they will stay on there because of monetization, but not because they actually think it's a good platform. And then I think that a majority of the scene is going to shift to YouTube, and we'll basically what we'll do. This is my game plan because I plan on starting a panel show in January. If somebody who is banned from Twitch wants to come on to YouTube, we will just solo stream on YouTube because it will be worth it to have a better conversation rather than pussyfooting.
I don't think that panel scene is ever coming back. I think that everybody fucking hates each other way too much. I think that one of the big reasons that Hippy Dippy...
Lefties do.
Okay, you know what? You're right. Lefties do, but guess what? Half of the panel usually has to be lefties if you want it to be a balanced thing, right?
So who gives a fuck about balance? The Overton window is shifting away from you guys, and you're like, oh, well, we control the narrative.
Don't say like, no, you guys, all right? Don't let me in with those guys.
I feel like you're providing pushback when I said the exact same thing you just did, Connor, as well.
What?
Like, that the scene isn't coming back. Like, Twitch is dying. Like, Twitch politics is dead.
Okay, then can you reformulate your definition of Twitch politics to a
I guess doing politics and debate on Twitch is what I mean.
Okay, and what I mean is the community of political debaters who make money and clout and attention based off of doing political debate. That's what I mean.
Okay, fair enough.
So, what the fuck was I thinking? And by the way, like, this is, you can say, like, these lefties aren't coming back. Vaush isn't coming back. Denims isn't coming back. Mike from PA isn't coming back. Guess what? We don't fucking need them.
You should shame people that are friends with them. These guys are like really like the most disgusting type of like clout sharky, like I got mine, get fucked people in the world. I can't believe you guys all were okay with it. Pretty gross.
But so yeah, and that's what I would say is like they can go into their fucking hug box and circle jerk all the fuck they want, and then here's the thing. They're gonna pretend they're above it all while it's small. And then when the scene becomes relevant, I fucking guarantee their tune will change about whether or not they come on a panel.
Don't
if
let
that
them back
panel
in,
has
though.
like a few thousand live viewers.
Yeah, don't ever let him back in.
I'm a relationship guy. I don't give a fuck about
That's not a relationship guy. That's
content.
a cucked guy. You're talking about getting cucked there. And trust me, I'm an expert on getting cucked apparently, so.
Okay, well, the point being that, no. I think Chud, I disagree with Chud because he believes like all of this rhetoric has no impact on people or like the external space or whatever. It's all just content, and everybody in his audience is just somebody who fucking like sleeps in their own jizz sock while not doing anything proactive in their lives except for give $5 to Chud. I think that's his perspective. I don't agree with that shit, but I do agree that the worldly impact is not zero, but it's overblown. And we could have a good impact, we just actively choose not to.
Jeez. Okay, final thoughts before I have to go do my wonderful D&D.
Wait, I'm more interested in what your final thoughts are, Destiny. Do you have any thoughts about any of those?
He wants us to create our own scene and then cuck the cucks.
No, I mean, I'm always down to do if there are show. I mean, it's obviously harder to do it on Twitch stuff, but what are my thoughts about what in particular? I mean, I think you should try when you're platforming people, you should be like pretty responsible in your rhetoric. Make sure you're not like letting them get away with a whole bunch of crazy shit, of course.
Okay. Do you think that like what Connor says about maybe changing the way I approach Stardust would be more effective, or I don't know?
I guess it just depends on what your goal is with her.
Yeah.
Just to shame her for being insufficiently leftist.
No, it's just to farm content off of her, to be honest.
True. Fucking true. All right, my last shout out. We're gonna be doing a panel show in January. This was all just a big commercial. That's what it was. Okay. So it was a big advertisement for the revitalization of the panel scene in January.
Oh, that's why you take it personal.
Yeah, true. But then also because this community has the potential for good, but just chooses not to actively do it. There is a gentleman by the name of Mike Awesome. He's been in Prime Kai's community for a while. He has heart disease and liver disease. He needs both transplants. He's been approved for... he's been approved for both transplants, but he needs to fundraise like 25 grand for the living expenses while he's recovering. And he's like 5 grand into the goal. I'll be doing a fundraiser stream at the end of the month. So any rich DGGers who actually want to save, this is pretty much the puppy situation for Darius, but a human being. So anybody who wants to participate in the puppy has parvo $10,000 donation shit, we'll be doing this towards Christmas.
Wow. Well, cool.
That's it for me.
Well, good luck. Damn.
All right, appreciate y'all. You have a beautiful afternoon.
Have fun. Stay safe, my dudes.
I appreciate your perspective, by the way, Connor. Even if you know. Yeah.
Dude, I love you. You're one of the OGs.
Simpler. Ooh, sipping.
Well, I won't just dick ride you, motherfucker. No, you were one of the OGs when I saw like the classic panels. That was part of what wanted me to get in the scene. I was like, I got to get on this show because I want to yell at these guys.
That's good. That was partly my goal as well with those things, is that like when I was starting the podcast and stuff like that, like there was no scene, like nobody was interacting with each other. So
so you inspired, I know Destiny's got to go. You inspired a new generation, so to hear you blackpilled on it is a little blackpilling.
Nice.
So that's why I fight
you. Guys, it's been fun. Stay safe.
Bye, everybody.
All right.